What's up everybody, welcome to this new episode of Venice tutorial in 1.15 of Europe Renaissance 4. So, last episode, which lasted a bit long, I'm sorry again, we tried to go for all of Byzantium, but the Ottomans were faster than us for Constantinople. We still gave all of that to Naxos. Another option that would have been good would have been to vassalize Byzantium. Give Athens to them, that doesn't matter, but vassalize Byzantium. Because Byzantium does have cores across here, so if you find a way to fight the Ottomans and win, you can give this pretty well. But I decided to just... the bad thing about that is that it will take you an extra slot. Then we tanked Bosnia and Serbia as co-belligerents. We vassalized Serbia first, and then we took those two provinces from Bosnia because it's Catholic, and the rest we gave it to Serbia. What's left for us to expand that should technically be easy is Ragusa, but Ragusa is now guaranteed by the Ottomans since the Cossacks, so that's not an option. We could go on the Pope, but I do not want to piss off the Pope. Not yet. So what we have left is basically Cyprus and the Mamluks, but Cyprus is guaranteed by the Mamluks. So we're gonna wait and see what happens. For a second, Hungary had broke the alliance with Austria, but they took it back. So. In 1490 we'll have Italy, that's not a problem. Never happens, but just to make sure they don't have a rival. They refused the Uniad, they refused the Voivode. Vienna, Alexandria, Ragusa. Well, since there's not much to do, I will use this video to explain trade. Now, trade is probably one of the most complicated mechanic, if not the most complicated mechanic to understand in this game. So I'll try to make it simple, and you'll find the specific details by yourself by understanding the basics. So first of all, in trade, you see the whole map is divided into what we call nodes. Each node is connected to other nodes with arrows. So the square is the node itself, is the statistics of the node itself. The arrows are what links nodes together. As you can see, there's a direction. You cannot change that. This will always be static through the rest of the game. It goes in one direction and that's it. So what do you do with this? First of all, you'll notice that one of the node, usually well at the start where your capital is, my capital is Venetia, obviously, and so that my capital node is also the node also named Venetia. You see this with the small icon here, main trading port. One thing to note is that you do not need to use your merchants in your capital. Your capital will always collect by default. You cannot do anything else. You can only collect there. Now, there are two statistics in trading that are the basics of it: the value and the power. You will always find ideas or events that will either give value or trade power. See it this way: value is how much trade is produced or comes in from another node, you following these arrows, in the node. So if I mouse over here, this is value. there is 9.09 value produced in the node of Venice. So if I look at every single node province that is part of this node, you'll see trade value 2.33, 2.33, 2.69, 5, etc., etc. If you add all of that, that brings us to 9.09. This is not only me, all nations that built that as provinces in this node produce in this node. 6.22 is what comes from other nodes. As you can see, there's 3 nodes coming in: Vienna, Ragusa, and Alexandria. All 3 added together brings us up to 6.22. If you add this together, this is 15.31. There's no outgoing, basically meaning there's no arrows moving out of Venice, because Venice is one of the 3 special nodes in the game, alongside Genoa and the English Channel, that we call end nodes. End nodes are extremely powerful because there's never anything coming out of it. Everything comes in, nothing comes out. So it makes them extremely rich in the mid-late game. Now this is the value. There's 15.31 ducats in this node, but why am I not making 15.31 ducats? It says 9.31. That brings us to power. See value as what is produced in the node, and power how this is shared among the nations that have a presence in that node. This 55% means we have 133 power in that node, which represents 55% of the power of the node. This brings you to this chart, this pie chart. It gives us the same value. Well, sometimes the rounding is different, but we own 66 power of the node because we have 133 power, and if you add the power of every other nation, Ferrara is 36.4, Milan 18.3, blah blah blah. If you add everyone together, it will bring us to the total value, which is never seen anywhere, but make the math yourself. 133 is 56% of that total. So we're taking 55% of this 15.31, which equals 931. So, how you get more money in trade? Well, 2 ways. You either increase the value of the provinces you own there, or you bring money in from other nodes with your power. The value is the number here is value, but you bring this in by having power in another node. Like we have 112 power in Venice, which is representing 30% of the node. We have chose to transfer power. The reason for that is simple. At best, you want to be collecting in a single node, and that's in the best of the worlds. You want to collect in one single node and transfer everything else as much as you can towards that node. The reason is, when you collect in a different node than your capital, you receive a penalty of 50% to your power. So you're better off using your full power to transfer into a node where you're already collecting by default, rather than collecting in every single node where you lose power, therefore value that you have access to. So now you're going to ask me, if you pay attention a bit, why do you have 13% power in this node if you don't have a single province? Because yes, we don't have a single province in Vienna. That brings us to a statistic that is very important to merchant republics called caravan power. This is what we have here that I was explaining in the first video. There are 2 ways to gain power besides land, which land gives you power by default, and which you gain from improving production, or ideas, which are only multiplicative of power you already have. If you don't have basic power, ideas won't do anything. Ideas are the statistics like mercantilism. You'll all see all of them here. By explaining what I'm explaining here, you can mouse over yourself here and you will understand what they mean. So you have power in your provinces, then your ideas will multiply that. The other way you get power is in 2 ways, depending if the node is a sea node or an inland node. A sea node, you will use ships. That's what I'm doing here. I'm protecting the trade in Venice, which gives me a value of power based on the ships I'm using here, which is 14. This comes from ships. Plus the power that I have in my provinces, that comes from the provinces. You add this together. These are all the bonuses I'm getting. The 10% from the traders, the 10% from my traditions. Power projection gives you some, prestige gives you some, stability gives you some. I'm being embargoed by Hungary, who has a presence here, so it's affecting my trade power here a bit negatively. And the transfers, I'll explain it in a second. And then a reason why you want to transfer rather than collecting. But if you add this multiplied by this, it will give you that, which then multiplies all that, etc. Everything I explained already. Why was I making that parenthesis? I lost my track of mind. But anyway, basically that's how it works. You have your provinces added to the projection of your ships. If it's a C note, that's what I was explaining. Caravan power replaces ships when it's inland. So I'm getting 68 here, 33%. There's 2 because I have a merchant here. A merchant gives 2 power in a node. Inland power comes from the provinces. You have the total development that you have. You have, not just in that node. I have 174 development, so my nation is strong. So I'm getting power in the nodes where I have a merchant, which is multiplied by 33% because of my caravan power in my Merchant Republic government type. This, and then the rest is the same. Plus the land, I don't have land. Multiply by 33, 38, I have 112 in that node. That's basically it. I'll explain deeper when later on which node should you protect with your ships. By example, an end node doesn't need to be protected eventually. If you own all the provinces in an end node, power becomes irrelevant in that node, because the only way to gain power, then you'll be the only nation present in that node, so no one would be able to gain power in that node. Now this is one of the events you'll learn to hate when you have the traders in power within a republic. Because when one of your faction is in power, the other 2 factions, based on the level of power they have, will have events, negative events that will affect you. And this is what they're trying to do. The aristocrats have so little power that they are extremely pissed off, basically. And you'll end up fighting nobles left and right. I'll bring the units back to the capital. They are changing up mercantilism around in the next patch. Not exactly. By what I've seen, mercantilism itself works the same exact way. It's just that mercantilism will have a negative effect because it will increase your corruption. I'm not going to explain this now because this is a tutorial for 1.15, but for those who follow the dev diaries, you'll understand what corruption is. And mercantilism is one of the ways that you gain it, which you don't want. Because your country is richer, therefore more corrupted. If I gain that, this was a powerful event that Venice always gets in the early game, because they participated in beating the Ottomans. Well, the Ottomans won, but... I'll probably go Catholic first, because I want to keep the Curia for the purpose of the tutorial. Okay, Serbia's being annoying. Okay, marketplace in Venetia, obviously. Why can't I build it? Oh, because I'm converting it. Okay. Not really, because Venetian first gives you papal influence, which gives you better access to mercantilism. True. On the other hand, when you go Venetian Catholic first, plus religious, you'll have as much papal influence as Castile. Well, Bengal is not Italian, is it? Trade will be good eventually, but it's not necessary yet. I have nowhere to properly place those 3 merchants. Exploration is too early. I could take influence to be ready for Italy. Also, I have vassals. But then my Diplo is behind. Obviously, there's plutocratic. That's good. Explain another thing about republics. I did explain it vaguely in the other video, but when you're a republic, you don't have aristocratic ideas here. You have plutocratic ideas, which gives you more mercenaries, morale of armies, -2 unrest, another merchant, goods produced, caravan power, manpower recovery, and technology cost. I'm thinking religious influence or plutocratic, but influence not exactly because I'm behind in Diplo and I can't fall behind if I want my ships to be able to fight something. Plutocratic early is good because it saves you point whenever you tech up. Religious will let me annex my people and stay stable, whereas right now I can't really annex them because of that shit. I think we're gonna be weird, but I'm gonna take religious. This being said, my focus is I put it in military. I can't change it for a while. I'll go plutocratic and then probably religious. But again, as I said in the no, I didn't say that in the last video, but since they changed the religious zeal to -100, religious, it was a indirect nerf to religious. Because no matter how much missionary strength you have, you can't deal with that. Okay, actually I'm gonna go religious. Can change that to 67, which is fine. And I re-elected this guy, so I'll take plutocratic, but next probably. I want to deal with this as much as I can. Also, the earlier I get religious, the better. And they broke alliance again. The faster I can attack the Ottomans and take their land properly. That's Diplo. But it's mercantilism. Seriously. Nice, let's go ahead and speed this up. Also, I can put a merchant. No, because I'm converting it. 16 here. I'm gonna improve you because as soon as I have my Diplo rep back, I'm gonna eat you. Sure. That's an event. He's fighting Burgundy. Would be a good thing if Burgundy dies. As long as it doesn't turn on us because of his strength. Ah, true. Yeah, the Styrian separatists is an event that always happens in the beginning of the game as Austria. Just that the AI tends always to get them when they're at war, and then they leave them there. I can use the reconquest from Serbia, I suppose. Holy shit. I'll still wait, they still have 60k, I can deal with that. It's only Poland too. They can turn this back pretty easy. So Poland also doesn't have any merman power left, so. Means I can build my market here. That's true though. I could go for Ragusa. It's too early to fight Hungary. They still have a bigger army than me. And Austria is not allied to them anymore. They broke the alliance again. Because Hungary and me are rivals on both sides, so it's fucking up their alliance. It's funny that we get the refugees when we killed them. I'm gonna take Ragusa myself. It's a center of trade. And it's Catholic. I just need this to get quick before the Ottomans come back, but I don't think that's gonna happen. They're losing troops. And they're losing badly. Yep, look at that. Oh, it's because Lithuania rolled the 2 stars. Poland is a 3-2. Tlemcen is here, okay. As a +2 trader, we'll then take that. Because we need to catch up on admin. Oh, if that's the case, I'm gonna take plutocratic. Because I'm going way ahead in... Okay, fine. Fuck that gimmick. Although, you know, I was at nearly 400. If I don't... If I don't core this yet... Wait a few months. You know, you see what I'm thinking. Do you see what I'm thinking? Also, Austria is not at war anymore. Dios Volt! And we're gonna get tactics on his ass. That's ahead of tech, but hey, that's work. Give me a month. Well, it's Poland, he probably didn't deal with his fleet. Yeah, so we're gonna set the ships. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Swarm Painty. Holy War!
Live for the Swarm!
I don't need to cross. You can get about 60 war score just on this side. On the as long as they don't lose anything. I do need someone though, because I can't do this alone. Poland. Why did I turn down the... Okay, balls to the wall. He just lost. Of course, Poland just lost. That's not attaching. The Rubicon is crossed. Can I go there? And a council of 10. Is there any reason why anyone would take this? I suppose this is OP if you plan to become a monarchy. Because it speeds up your plan, your process of becoming a monarchy, and then you have a permanent monthly autonomy change. Which is even stronger now that since 1.15 they reduced the autonomy reduction from government. But yeah, that makes it very difficult to stay a republic. They are back. We have their numbers now. Are you kidding me? Whereas this is bullshit, he just released this because he felt like it, but how the fuck is this guaranteed by Naples, who's still a PU of Aragon? And I'm kind of fucked. Looks like he lost his general though. I'm still out of tech. And I have a commandant. I'll stick to the mountains and we'll see. Well, I need a fort, so... Told you to attach. Do something with yourself. Get your core. Nexus is sitting there doing jack shit. Already? That's quick as shit. This is wasted. No, they have way more troops. Also, this is useless now. I could vassalize you, but I'd rather give you. Okay, do I really need to tell you every single province where to go? Because you can go there. Are you at war with something else? Ah, the Mamluks attacked. Yeah, they took this. They released Bulgaria and Epirus. No, too far. Okay. And there you go. Next! Now they need to cross attack us. We do have more troops too. And we're at attack, and we have a commandant. Oh my god, fuck you. That would have been a wipe. Oh, come on. Oh, because of this. Go siege. As long as you don't freaking cross, but you can't, so whatever. They can court. Oh no, that's right, because Lithuania. But they can court to their vassal because it's in the same continent. We're way ahead in military and I don't want to deal with this. These are just nobles, so it might break the country. on, Tlemken. Leave already. We don't need to beat you. Where are you going? Oh, okay. That makes sense, I suppose. Oh, Mehmet died, but that's still big. Jesus Christ, the elements are getting wrecked by RNG. That's gonna make the episode pretty long too. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the episode here and we're going to come back straight to this war. Although the war is about to end, because we're gonna go for Constantinople and... Anyway, we'll see that in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Please follow, subscribe here on Twitch and Twitter, and I'll see you next time.